Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business.
Good morning, business warriors. It's Monday, and you know what that means. The coffee is brewing, the inbox is already yelling at you, and somewhere out there, you are staring at a to-do list that grew overnight like it has a life of its own. Before you dive into any of that, I want you to share with me just 12 minutes. Just 12, because today I want to tell you a story about a bowl. Not a metaphorical bowl, but an actual literal bowl. And I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to look at every mistake, every setback you had, every this didn't work moment in your business completely differently. So, as you know, we start with a story. A century ago in Japan, there is a story. Some say a legend, some say it actually happened, about a shogun who owned a beautiful tea bowl. It was a prized possession, one of a kind. And one day it breaks, shatters, multiple pieces scattered on the floor. Now, in most places and in most times, that bowl is trashed. You sweep it up, you throw it away, you buy a new one because broken is broken. But this shogun sends the bowl to Kyoto to have it repaired. And when it comes back, the craftsmen haven't hidden the cracks. They haven't tried to make it look like it was never broken. So what they did is they filled every single crack with gold. Not painted to look like gold, actually gold liquor poured into the fractured lines so that the break isn't hidden, it's illuminated. It's the most visible, most beautiful part of the entire bowl. And this is called Kintsugi, or golden joinery. And the philosophy behind it is simple, but it will rearrange how you think about business. The break is not the thing to be ashamed of. The break is the thing that makes the pieces irreplaceable. Now, let's bring this into your world, into your shop, your service business, your startup that's maybe 3 years old and still finding its footing. Because here is what nobody tells you when you sign up for entrepreneurship. You will break. Not maybe, not if, you will. The launch that flopped, the client who left a scathing review, the partnership that fell apart, the year the numbers didn't add up and you had to make payroll out of your own pocket, the pivot you didn't want to make but had to. Every single business owner I have ever talked to on this podcast or beyond, everyone has a break in their story, a moment they'd rather not put on the About Us page. And here's where most of us go wrong. We treat that break like something to hide. We patched it, we paint over it, we hope nobody notices the crack in the timeline. We tell the polished version of our story and bury the year everything fell apart. But Kintsugi asks a different question. Not how do I hide this, but what if this crack filled with gold becomes the most valuable part of what I'm building. Because think about it, the client who fired you taught you exactly what your ideal client actually needs. The launch that flopped told you precisely who wasn't your audience. The year you almost lost it, that's the year you found out what you're actually made of. And that story, told honestly, is the reason someone trusts you today. The gold isn't despite the break. The gold is in the break. I want to say this clearly because I know some of you are listening to this on Monday morning after a rough weekend or maybe a rough month. If you're in the crack right now, if something in your business just shattered, if you're staring at the pieces on the floor wondering if this is the end, I need you to hear this. You are not disqualified. You are being prepared with gold. This isn't toxic positivity. I'm not telling you the break doesn't hurt or that you should slap a smile on it and move on. The Shogun's ball was still shattered. Someone still had to sit with the pieces, sort them, decide if it was worth repairing at all. That's the work. That's your work this week. Not to pretend nothing is broken, but to decide, is this worth repairing? If it is, how do I fill this crack with something that makes the whole business stronger, not weaker? Because here's the secret the Kintsugi masters knew that most business books won't tell you. A repaired bowl done with intention is worth more than one that was never broken at all. You know, the collectors, they seek those pieces out. They're rarer. They have a story a brand new bowl simply cannot tell. Your customers, your clients, your community, they don't just want to buy from someone who's never failed. They want to buy from someone who broke and chose gold. So here's your thought for the week, business warriors. I want you to write it down, put it on a sticky note, say it out loud if you have to. Don't hide the crack, fill it with gold. Every setback this week, a hard conversation, a number that didn't hit a plan that has not changed, is an invitation not to hide it, but to ask, what's the gold I can pour into this? Now, I don't do motivation without a Monday move, of course, and here's yours. Before you open your laptop today, I want you to take 2 minutes. I want you to think of one break in your business story, big or small, recent or years ago, and I want you to write one sentence about what it taught you that you couldn't have learned any other way. And now that sentence, that's your gold seam. I want you to use it. Put it on a post-it. Tell it to your client. Say it to yourself the next time things crack, because they will again. And next time, you'll know exactly what to do with these pieces. That's it for this week, Monday Morning Motivation, Business Warriors. Wherever you are in your story right now, whole, crack, or somewhere in the middle of the repair, I want you to remember the break isn't the end of the piece. It might just be the beginning of the masterpiece. Now go and build something golden this week. I'll see you next Monday. This has been Small Business Survival Conversations, and I'm your host, Anna Steinfest. Now go fill those cracks with gold.
You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.